We are back in the Element Wealth studio. We welcome now Kelly Bennett, multimedia journalist, SuperTalk Mississippi News.
It's more fun to hear the bumper music rather than the news. Where's Journey? Where'd Journey go?
That's right. Bring on Journey. All right, Kelly, tell us all about it. What are you tracking? We've got this FedEx driver case, right? What's that all about?
Well,
is that right?
Let me get to the news in a minute. First, I got to share with you your topic this morning has me kind of excited. I have my dad's old reel-to-reel from 1977.
Yeah.
When he turned it over to me, he even still had the price tag in the box. I mean, it's just, I love it. And people come in my house and they see it and they go, it actually works. It functions. I still have the old tapes. People come in the house and they're like, is that a reel-to-reel? I'm like, yeah.
Was it by any chance, was it Ampex? You remember them?
Yes.
They were the manufacturer. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. I always wanted one and never could pull the trigger, but that was like for the really high-end audiophiles. It was better quality than just traditional record albums, the vinyl albums. Reel to reel.
I got all this old vinyl too, which is really cool. And I still pull out those old albums and listen to them. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, there's kind of been a resurgence of that. It's hobbyists are kind of going back to, I like the old vinyl with all the scratches and the static better than the pure digital reproductions. But isn't that neat how things kind of circle back around there? Pretty cool.
Everything old is new again. So
that's right. That's right. Exactly right. Well, that's neat. Well, now you made me feel old. I had my dad's reel-to-reel in 77. Well, that's when I was listening to that stuff too. So
look, I didn't tell you how old I am. We don't even want to go there. So. You mentioned the FedEx trial. It actually ended in a mistrial. This is the case of two white men accused of trying to kill a black FedEx driver in Brookhaven in January of 2022. Brandon Case and his father Gregory charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy, and shooting into a vehicle occupied by DeMontario Gibson. Now, Gibson was dropping off a package in a van that was actually rented by FedEx. So you can kind of understand how seeing a van in this neighborhood after dark, somebody might get the right idea and go, what's this guy doing in my neighborhood? But what followed is the crazy part. So one of the men approached him in a pickup from a nearby home. The other pointed a weapon and fired shots at Gibson as he sped off. And you can imagine this guy would be scared at this point. So they continued to chase him till he landed on I-55 northbound en route to FedEx's Jackson Distribution Center. Court began Thursday with a motion for a mistrial. Apparently, the police didn't turn over some evidence, and that was enough for the judge to say, okay, we got to declare a mistrial here.
Wow. Interesting outcome of that deal. What about this blindside controversy that has just gotten all kinds of national news attention and, of course, has connections right here in Mississippi?
Yeah, were you shocked to see that?
I was. I did not see that coming whatsoever. I think I'm shocked because it's happened so long ago. All of this did. Michael Orr and the Tuohys, and then him playing football at Ole Miss, went on to play professional football. It just seems kind of weird that this would pop up after all that time.
Yeah, well, even when I see movies that are supposed to be based on real events, I always think to myself, now I wonder how much of this is made up.
Yeah,
it almost proves that. So basically, you've got Orr saying the family never really adopted him. They entered into a conservatorship that kept him from, using his own name, making money. He claims that they've stolen from him. They're about to end this conservatorship. I thought it was really interesting. His stepbrother, the Tuohy son, the biological son, had nothing bad to say about Orr at all, and hopefully the family. It sounds like a kind of a family thing, and I hope they're able to work it out.
Yeah, I do too. It certainly has gotten a lot of attention, though, no doubt about that.
Yes, yeah, a lot.
All right, so
you want to ask, or should I just go?
No. I want to ask you either way. January 6th. Well, is there a connection there to Mississippi?
There is. A past Christian man actually this week now facing federal charges in connection with the breach at the U.S. Capitol. 63-year-old James Knowles appeared in federal court in Gulfport Tuesday for an initial appearance. He was arrested on 4 charges, including illegal entry into a restricted building or grounds, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds. The charges go on. Anyway, 3 of the crimes are misdemeanor offenses that carry a maximum sentence of up to a year in prison. The 4th is a felony offense punishable by up to 5 years in prison. I did kind of dig into this story a little bit more. This gentleman was in the Capitol for a total of like 2 minutes. That's it. And then he was gone. And I don't know if you've seen, but we're starting to hear from family members of some of these J6 prisoners that the conditions they're being kept in are really pretty horrid. They're putting them in solitary confinement. They're moving them around. They're denying them, medical treatment. It's really sad. So you have to think to yourself, do we have political prisoners?
Yeah.
From J6 in jail.
Doesn't sound like the punishment's scary. Doesn't sound like the punishment's fitting the crime. I mean, if they broke a law, okay. Then they, like everybody that breaks a law, if they broke a law, if found to have done so and through the proper process in a court of law, well, then the punishment's supposed to fit the crime. That sounds unreasonable by a long shot to me. It does sound like that it's more political persecution than anything, and that's scary. Very scary.
It's very scary when you think about the fact that we live in America. This doesn't happen here, or it's not supposed to. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. I have heard some reports on that. I suspect we'll hear even more about that, especially with the election, the presidential election coming up. I suspect that's the case. What about the Mississippi Aquarium? Is there some expansion plans in the works there?
There really are. Did you get the visit from the aquarium folks yesterday where apparently
they brought roaches into the studio. I kid you not.
Madagascar hissing cockroaches. I got to tell you, I used to host a morning show back in my earlier radio career. I've been around for a while too, Gerard. And Jack Hanna came on the show one morning, and he brought Madagascar hissing cockroaches. He wrapped a snake around my neck. It was all fun. But, I'm all excited to meet Jack Hanna and have him on the air with me. And it didn't even dawn on me, hey, Kel, this is radio. How are you going to get that to come across? I didn't have the visual, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, I had the pleasure of interviewing one of the reps over at the Neshoba County Fair. Came on the program and talked about the aquarium and some plans there. But what's in the works?
Well, they have expanded their Changing Tides building, which this is great news because it's air conditioned. And look, it's hot in Mississippi. And I don't know if you've been to the aquarium yet, but most of the stuff is outside, including the area where you take a break to eat. Right. So I've taken my grandson to the aquarium and gone to eat thinking maybe we can sit in the air conditioning for a while. No, it doesn't work that way. So they have these different stations all around where you can kind of cool yourself off. But anyway, this is going to be air conditioned. The expansion opens August 25th. They're adding over 130 different species of fish and reptiles. And if you pay attention to the Mississippi Aquarium's Facebook, they're constantly going, guess which animal this is going to be, and then you have to guess, and they give you heads on it, and it's kind of neat. So apparently the Madagascar hissing cockroaches will be one of the new insects.
So something else that I caught wind of, I know you guys are tracking, is the City of Jackson City Council is dealing with their budget situation, talking about shutting down the Jackson Zoo.
Yeah, Jackson City leaders are in the middle of budget talks right now, and apparently the zoo has brought in only $50,000 in revenue so far this year, and they're asking for $1.8 million in funding. And Jackson City leaders are like, look, we got to take this seriously. And, they're still trying to find a raise for firefighters.
Yeah, that's what they said. Just trying to get some raises to the fire department, the folks that work there, and they're looking at shutting down the zoo as a way to save money and make that happen for the firefighters. I hate that it's a one or the other situation, honestly. I have such great memories of the zoo growing up. All right, appreciate the rundown as always. Kelly Bennett, multimedia journalist, SuperTalk Mississippi News. We'll talk again soon. Kelly, thanks.
Thanks a lot. SuperTalk.fm for details on these stories and more.